Hi guys, hope you're doing well and welcome back to my YouTube channel. For the Lunar New Year special episode, I'll be illustrating a Korean show called Mr.Queen. To explain briefly, Mr.Queen is a Korean period show that takes place in Joseon Dynasty. I find the puns they use in the show quite humorous and I'm in love with their aesthetics. Obviously, there are a lot of flowers involved in the show, like in furniture or the costumes. I stumbled upon this show while trying to find a show that I can actually binge on. Never really thought that I would be doing an episode of it. Throughout the episode, you'll be seeing a lot of flowers and butterflies, which are my favorite elements of drawing. I never really get tired of drawing and painting flowers, and especially peony and hydrangea, which are my two favorite babies. So just to give a few tips for the paints and the brushes that I use gouache from Winsor & Newton and brushes from Hwahong. The gouache paints from Winsor & Newton are a bit watery compared to other gouache paints I've used so far, but I love the watercolor effects that it has. I use small brushes from Hwahong, one of the art supply brands in Korea. I prefer using their small brushes to big brushes, of course, because my works are very intricate. Lately, I have been attempting to use colors that I usually don't use. I tend to use saturated primary colors, and there has been a few times I felt frustrated because I thought I wasn't challenging myself enough in colors. So for this piece, I wanted to experiment with subtle colors that I am not familiar with. By sticking with the colors used on reference photos, I wanted to keep the mood of the piece like I originally intended. I've actually grown into these bright colors now, so it's not as uncomfortable as I think. I mean, in the past, I used colors that are a lot more serious and heavier. This flower piece turned out to be so beautiful, so I might actually share it on my Instagram. So you can always visit my Instagram by clicking on the tab About. So, for the opening sequence, the show used Korean traditional paper, hanji, as their main material. I personally thought it was stunning, so I tried to make my work similar to theirs. Also, to depict hanbok, the traditional dress of Korea, I found a beautiful hanji that had an ombre on it. To be honest, I have a very long history actually with hanbok. My first experience with it was when I was in middle school. Back then, there was a show called Princess Hours. I really loved the costumes from the show, so this motivated me to draw hanbok. I spent a lot of time practicing hanbok, and to be honest, I never got tired of it. So this is actually how I got into fashion. Without hanbok, I would not have been able to be in fashion or illustration at all. Maybe one day I'll share my drawing archives with you all. So this should be it. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to hit subscribe and like the video.